I have here the two sets of irons from Avoda Golf. These ones, the combo length, these ones in the same length. In this video, I'm going to show you all you want to know about the difference between these two sets of clubs and which ones you should choose. I'll even give you my recommendations at the end of the video. They're very specific for some cases and very general for others, depending on what type of golfer you are and where you play. However, in this video, I have played this same length set for 6 months. I've played the combo length for 2 months. I spent weeks getting it ready. I've hit over 1,000 balls between these two sets of irons, getting you trajectories and launch angles and distances, everything you could possibly want to know about these two sets of irons so that you can make the best decision for you as to which set of irons to buy. So you're convinced on Avoda, you're convinced on the idea of the same length system, and you're trying to decide between the combos and the same length and the black and the silver, and which wedges to get, and which shafts you should choose. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing about Avoda, these two sets of irons here, the silver one that I have, is a same length set, where all 10 clubs, from lob wedge to 4-iron, are all exactly the same length and weight. They match a standard 7-iron in length, but they all match each other. So the lob wedge and the 4-iron are both the same length. The combo set is the exact same length and weight for the lob wedge through the 8-iron, so 6 clubs of the set, then progressively longer with the same swing weight for the 7, 6, 5, and 4. So we are going to dive in. We're going to start with the question that everybody has, and that is long irons. Which way do you go? Do you go with the same length? Do you go with the combo length? And then we are going to dive into every different thing that I could possibly think of through the thousands of comments that I've had in my same length videos, answering all of your questions. At the end of this video, you should be able to decide which one to buy. So right here I've got about a 210-yard shot, uphill, downwind. You got to land it and stop it, so it's sort of a difficult shot when it comes to long iron. So I've got 4 different options here. I've got the same length 4-iron, I've got the combo length 4-iron, I've got a standard 4-iron, and I've got a 7-wood. So you can see the difference between the trajectories and the landing of these different clubs on course. Starting with the same length 4-iron. Combo length 4-iron. The standard 4-iron. And 7-wood. Now let me show you the trajectories just one more time with another shot. Now something to note here is that I did feel like I had to swing pretty firmly with the same length 4-iron, whereas the 7-wood I felt like it was just a very easy cruising swing. And later in this video, I will go over all of the exact trajectories of all of the different clubs together, but I put that at the end because not everybody's going to want to watch all of that. Let's talk about the wedges. Here in my right hand, I've got the 9-iron length, combo length wedges. Okay, so we've got the gap wedge, sand wedge, and lob wedge, all the one length. And then with the same length set, we have those same 3 clubs a little bit longer than the combo set. So they're a solid, inch longer on the same length as they are with the combo length. Now, does it make a difference? Well, yes. When you're holding the 7-iron length lob wedge, it does feel long. When you're holding the 9-iron length lob wedge, it doesn't feel long. It feels like your wedges maybe should feel. So if I took just the combo length wedge for just a second and I set up to it with a comfortable bend over, I'm right at my wedge chipping or pitching or full swing spine angle, or what I would have done with a shorter wedge like that, or shorter wedge like that. But when I pick up the same length, it does feel like it's out there. Now, does that matter? Well, here's the interesting thing. After playing with the same length for about a month, you don't notice any difference. It's just there in the same spot, and it becomes very comfortable looking out right there at the wedge. Well, what about performance? Does it change the performance at all? Well, yes, it does. When you hit a same length lob wedge at full length and full swing, it does go very high, as does the combo length. But predominantly when we're inside 80 yards, we're not really hitting a full swing. We're hitting more of a half swing or a 3/4 swing to get the distance and the trajectory that we want with our wedges. Now, can you hit the lob wedge the trajectory you want? Well, yes, but you can also hit it really, really high. So if you have to get over something or land really short, you have the option with the more speed of the longer club to get more height, more spin. And if you swing it slower, it will come off the club lower. So I find myself, when I'm hitting the same length wedges, I find myself swinging easier and therefore a bit more accurately. Whereas when I'm swinging the combo wedges, I find myself swinging a bit more aggressively. Can you swing easy with the combo? Sure. It's just, I'm trying to tell you the feel of what it feels like when you're standing over the one versus the other. Because though there's only an inch difference, it does feel like there's a difference. If I go like this and I hold them both in the same spot, you can see how much further out the same length goes than the combo length. So hitting the wedge there feels better than hitting it here. But I found myself chipping well with both of them and hitting pitch shots well. So I'm going to show you with the two lob wedges what kind of a full swing trajectory you're getting. Now what I found was playing the same length wedges I felt to be a touch more accurate because I was never changing ball positions with my irons and I had a very easy time seeing where the line was. Now sometimes I would choke down on them an inch or two to hit the shot that I wanted, so I'm not always holding them all the way out, but when I'm playing the combo length set, I'm not really thinking any differently of it. From what I can tell, they are both incredible. I love both of them. I will not be going back to a variable length set of wedges. I'll play either this one or I'll play this set of wedges. So if you're going with the combo length, go with the combo length wedges. If you're going with the same length, get the same length wedges because they're going to be the same as everything else. If you need to, you can always grip down on them a little bit to get the feel of the shot that you want. If you want a little beside the green bump and run, but I love the extra length of the wedges around the greens. So what about tricky shots around the green? Is there a difference in playing these like little fly it over and you want to check it back there? I really like the weight of the same length club. So in this case, I'm going to hit it high and checky and I'm gripping down about an inch on the club. I'm just going to play, shall we say, a little standard chip shot. And it feels very, very natural. Feels very, very good. When I take out the combo length, it feels more like a wedge. It feels like it's a little bit different from the rest of the clubs. And what I would say more than anything is you're going to get used to whichever ones you have. I don't find really any difference in the feel of the shots around the greens now that I'm used to both. The first day that I had the same length, oh boy, that was a bit rough. That was tough around the greens. But now that I understand how to use them, it's very simple. So what about kind of a higher flying, more flop shot like? Well, you can hit them with that one. One of the things you notice with the flop shots with the same length is you definitely have more club head speed, which to me gives me variety around the greens and gives me options. You know, I can play a higher speed shot, or I can grip down right to the bottom of the shaft and play it more like a standard variable length chip shot, like so. Now, can you play all the shots with them? Yeah, you can play all the shots with them. even the tight little spinner. And get it to stop really nice and quickly. Even if I wanted to play a spinner at full length, you know, I can still use that to my advantage. Or just play the shorter one close to your body. So is it going to make a difference for you? Well, 3 weeks into whichever set you choose, you're not going to notice a lick of difference. Now, how about the feel with these little, let's call them delicate little pitch shots? With the same length, you definitely want to swing easy or feel what swing. Now, you have lots of control with it. You just have to get into the mindset that there's a little bit more club head speed and you don't have to give it quite as much juice. So around the greens, it really helps you to feel slow, easy. Whereas with the combo length ones, I definitely feel a little bit less control. But of course, it really comes down to your skill from this part of the golf course. So I think the point is this: there really isn't a performance difference with either of the wedge sets other than what's going to make you feel like you're consistent and you're hitting the same shots over and over. So if you've got the consistency through the 9-iron length or through the 7-iron length, you're going to get used to either one. And because you never really take a full swing with any of the wedges, like you're really never trying to go after them, it becomes a setup, ball position, and consistency issue. So get the ones that go with the set that you're buying. Now, as of the making of this video, Avoda has 2 different wedge grind options, the W1s and the W2s. These are the W1s, and I have hit the W2s, so I'm going to give you information on them, but I have elected the W1s on both. So basically, the W2s have a sole that's basically going to help you not chunk the ball, okay? So if you chunk your wedges, just straight up go with the W2s. The benefit of going with the W1s is being able to hit this shot right here. This right here is what you would call a tight lie. See, the fairway's cut nice and short and your ball is on it. And the only time you're going to choose the W1 over the W2 is if you want to open up the face and lay it flat like that and still hit the shot. Okay, so if you're not playing this close to the green, nippy flop shot, absolutely go with the W2 because it's a well-rounded, beautiful wedge that's going to keep you from chunking the ball. It's just going to leave you a little bit more space between the bottom and the edge of the club right here. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, get the W2. If you do know what I'm talking about and you want to hit this shot, get the W1. If you don't hit that shot, you don't need these wedges, you need the W2s. So W2s in like 90% of instances for 90% of people. However, if you hit a lot of tight lie flop shots, get the W1s. It's as simple as that. That one should be easy. Hi, I'm Same Length, and I'm Combo Length, and I'm all about consistency. Same club, same ball position, same feel. I mean, every club feels like home. I like to hit them high with the long irons and have wedges that stop right where you want them. Sure, but you change your swing every time. Good luck hitting those long irons. Maybe, but at least my wedges aren't the length of a 7-iron. See, some people like it consistent, repeatable, reliable, with no guessing. Yeah, and some people like options, like actually getting their long irons airborne. Okay, so I have all sorts of people asking me, like, well, which one would you go with? I'm gonna play a 2-man scramble from the gold tees, irons only, the pink man. Okay, this is combo pink on the black irons. Then we've got the silver same length irons in blue. So I'll switch shirts with every shot so you
now
can
up here
see
in the
which
top
one's which,
left,
and then we'll
I
count
have
it all up at
averaged
the
out
end and
50
see
balls
which set
per
of irons
club for
we
each
took
of the
more of
clubs
the
in
shots
the
from. Was
sets.
one
And
more
these
accurate,
are my
less
averages
accurate?
for
And we'll
each
talk
of
a little
the
bit about
clubs
who
in the
feels
set. So you can
too.
have a look at
Let's
those
go, baby.
and see the gapping between the two different sets and where they differ and where they
should
are
give
the
me a
same.
good variety of different irons to hit into the greens. You'll see the tee boxes, and we'll separate the winning iron shot, you know, tee boxes versus fairway shots versus short shots. Let's answer this question. Oh, the same length 4-iron goes out to an early lead. Both of those are right at the flagstick, but the first one went a little bit long. All right, so just to show you here, the combo length here at 220 yards, and the same length 4-iron with its lower trajectory and less spin is out at 240 yards. Boom! The race is neck and neck, so I guess if I hit them both well, they both pretty much go the same yardage. So that's where the same length 5-iron went from the fairway, and that's where the combo length 5-iron went. So whether it rolled out or just the lower trajectory allowed it to roll a little further. Oh, I think it's going to be neck and neck again. Let's see who the winner is. There's Pinky McPinkerson. Here's the yellow one. Ooh, I don't know. Well, the yellow got it by just a few yards. little step through. Clearly a strongly illustrated difference right here. Well, it might have been at the hole, that second one, but not pin high. But it doesn't matter! Boom!
So the final score, 8 for the same length and 7 for the combo. Does that mean you should buy one over the other? Well, you should probably watch the rest of the video.
All right, so let's have a look at all the different clubs and their trajectories and the comparison between the combo length black set with the TGI 90 graphite shaft and the same length silver with the KBS stiff steel shaft. Okay, so I've got my launch monitor here and I'm gonna go through a crap ton of balls, and I'll try to summarize this as best as possible and give you a full picture, full understanding of what the gapping looks like between each of the clubs, and give you a few examples of each shot at a solid hit trajectory of each of them. Okay, so I'm gonna just hit and whack away. If you see a silver club, that's the same length. If you see the black club, that's the combo length. You can also see here at the top, this is the swing speed of each of the different ones, which will give you a little indication as to the swing speed difference between the shorter 4-iron and the longer 4-iron. So here's the length difference between the two, with the one over here being the same length and this being the combo length. Now let's hit a bunch of same length ones and see how it goes. So my thoughts when I'm going back and forth between the two, especially with the 4-iron, the same thing you would expect. I feel like I'm gonna hit this one right at the target and that my dispersion is gonna be really tight. This one I feel like I have to hold on to a little bit more to keep going the direction that I want. So I lose a little bit of control with this, but pick up a little distance. I lose a little distance in height with this one, but pick up control. Let's see what happens if I just grip down on the 4-iron. Interesting little note here. I've now gripped down on the combo length 4-iron down to where the 7-iron length would be. Okay, so that's my fingers right here at the end of the grip. And what's interesting is I pick up the same kind of control that I've got with the same length 4-iron. I lose a little bit of height, I lose a little bit of distance off of the fully long 4-iron, but I regain some of that control that's lost. So that's an interesting note. I have to remember that for later. In fact, those are basically the same numbers as the same length 4-iron. Okay, now the 5-iron. So the combo length 5-iron is now down to about an inch longer. And just so you all know, I am 5'7" and they fit me with a 1/2 inch short on my shaft. So mine's, let's call it the length of a standard 8-iron, my same length ones. So we'll start with the combo 5-iron. That one was perfect. Okay, now we've got the same length 5-iron. Okay, now we've got the 6 irons. The 6 irons, it's only about a 1/2 inch longer in the combo length as it is in the same length. So there's the 7. Not surprisingly, they are the same length. There's the 8-iron. Alrighty, here is the 9 irons, the combo length on the right and the same length on the left. Okay, and here's the pitching wedge. Okay, there's the gap wedge. Now one of the things to note here while I'm doing the wedges is that Very rarely am I actually hitting a full swing wedge on the course. Normally it's a 3/4 or a knockdown wedge shot to keep the height and the spin to where I want it, depending on how soft the greens are and whatnot. But I'm going to give you full swing numbers, but just know that very rarely do I actually hit a full swing wedge on the course. I'll take an extra club and take a 3/4 swing much more often than actually taking a full swing. And there's the sand wedge. And the lob wedge. Now, one of the cool things that Avoda's done is they've offered premium grip options without any upcharging in your irons. So you just choose the grips that are best for you. And I went with this was out on a whim, okay? I mean, not a whim. I went to I downloaded the Jumbo Max app for my iPhone. Only available on iPhone as of the recording of this video. So these ones are the Jumbo Max mediums. And then with the second set that I ordered, I got the Jumbo Max small. And I would say that I love both of them. I prefer the small to the medium. It's just a little bit smaller, but I mean, they're both gigantic. And having played these now for 8 months, there's less movement in my hands. I can grip it softer and still feel like I'm getting a good solid grip on it. All of the things that help us to relax our forearms, which is where tension kills our golf game, it helps with. Is it going to fix it forever? No, because you can still grip pretty strong with them, but it tends to allow you to feel more confident in the holding of the club. So I won't be going back to small ones. No more skinny grips for me. Only fatsos. I'm never going back to skinny. Okay, simple as that. I'm not going back to skinny. What does it do for me differently? It allows me to feel the control of the club better. Now, what about the black or the silver? Now, up until this set of irons, I've always been a silver guy. All of my sets of irons have been silver. I like the look of silver. I like looking down at it. Well, to be honest, I'd never really tried a black except in a golf shop looking down at the floor, you know? After having played both of these, I would choose the black. I love them. When I'm looking down at the silvers, I miss the blacks. Now you say, oh, well, the blacks are going to wear. Okay, so here's 6 months of use on the silver. And you can see there's wear down on the bottom, and there's a bit of rusting going on there. But otherwise, it looks very silver still. Okay, here's between 2 to 3 months of heavy play on the blacks. There is almost no discoloration of the black. Now, the guys at Avoda tell me that this set of irons was one of the new sets, one of the first sets in the new black finish. So they had a black finish that was a little more wearing, and then they found a coating that is this one to put on it, which looks a little bit different when you buy, but it lasts a lot longer, they said. And I've hit this 7-iron a ton, and I'm looking at the face of the club where I've hit the ball over and over and over and over, and it's still black. So I believe this is going to stay black for an awful long time. But either way, I love it. Now you can go to silver. It's not going to affect the performance one way or the other. It's just look. But I'm going to be a black guy from now on. Ooh, am I allowed to say that? Let's talk about fitting. When you buy a set of irons, you want to make sure that you're fit correctly. Now, for years and decades, we went to a golf shop and we picked one off the shelf and said, I'll take that one. And maybe we bent the lie angle a little bit, but that is it. It's only recently that companies have started to say, no, we want to sell you the right set of irons. And I think Avoda are the guys to actually go out and do this in a way that is going to make you better. Okay, so they've got two things. They've got an in-person fitting system that is different than anyone else on the market. And if you're available to get to a fitter, go do it. Okay, there are not a whole lot available across the country yet. It is growing. It's a growing list, and you can go to their website, or you can click the link down below in my video and go to fitters, and you can find a map of where there are fitters. So if you can, just go get fit. Now, if you can't, and you're like me and you weren't near any in-person fitters, they have an online fitting tool that is unlike anything else. There's actually a human behind the online fitting system that has a look at your swing video, at your specs, at your size, and says, here's what is best for you. Now, you say, oh, well, that can't be all that accurate, except for the fact that the geniuses behind the fitting system are fitters themselves and are incredibly intelligent and look at swings all day long. So this is the first set that I bought, and I bought it with an online fitting. I submitted my video to their online fitting and I got them sent. Then I'm like, well, I really like the same length, but I want to let you guys know about the combo lengths. So I got a set of combo lengths and I went through the online fitting system and they were perfect. Okay, now it is the difference between steel and graphite. That was my choice, but I have a bit of a unique story in that I went and I got fit online. And then I was at the PGA show in Orlando and I happened to meet the guy that fit me online. So I met the guy who did my online fitting. And I didn't tell him who I was. I didn't tell him he'd done a fitting for me already online. I just had him fit me in person using their system. And guess what? He came out with the exact same setting. So if you're not confident about which set to buy or what your setting should be in your irons, the online fitting is what got me these two sets of irons, because I wasn't anywhere near a fitter and I wasn't flying down to California or somewhere else in order to get fit. Okay, I did it online, I had them shipped to me, and guess what? They were fantastic. Okay, so let me give you the confidence to be able to buy through the online fitting system. They were perfect for me. Now, what about the graphite or the steel shafted options? Preferentially, and this is just preferentially, I prefer the graphite. I prefer the lighter. Performance-wise, I really haven't noticed a difference between the two, but I do notice it in how hard I feel like I have to swing. With the graphite ones, I feel like I can be a little bit easier and get the result out of them, whereas the steel, I feel like I have to swing a little more firmly. So if you're a 100% swinger all the time, which is perfectly fine, go with the steel. If you want to kind of ease off it or swing smoothly, go with the graphites. And go with whatever's... And I highly recommend going with whatever your fitter or the online fitter recommends as far as shafts, as far as specific brands and flexes and swing speeds and makes and models. I'm not super knowledgeable about that, so go with the fitter's expert opinion on that one. Now let's talk accessories. There's a bunch of accessories available on the site. And you know, I'm not one for buying bags very often, and this one's not cheap. This is the Vessel leather, beautiful, lovely Avoda golf bag. And I adore it. I could sleep with it. But no, seriously, it's 7-compartment Vessel bags have been known for a long time for being fantastic. And of course, Avoda being a brand that aligns themselves with other top products, would of course carry this one. And I got one. It's a stand bag. I carry it. I ride with it. It's very comfortable. It's got a lot of it's got a bunch of cool magneted pockets like that. See that? You got pockets back here for stuff. You got another, see, magnetic pocket, easy in, easy out. We like easy entrance. Just slide right in and out. See, you slide right. This is what I call my valuables pilch. It's a pilch for your valuables. And towel, very nice, love it. And there's a bunch of merch as far as hats and shirts and whatnot. I have some of them at home. I don't have them on right now because I'm branding my own stuff. But yeah, if you need a bag, get a bag. Now, what about the curves? The curved face irons are significantly more expensive than the standard flat faced irons. So it's a significant question up or down, and it becomes a price question of whether you go with flat or whether you go with curved. The most important factor with Avoda is choosing between the combo and the same length. Okay, that's going to get you the most benefit. The more clubs that you have in your bag that are the same length, the more you're going to benefit from that ability to be able to learn a shot and apply it through all of those different clubs. So that's the number one factor. This video is the most important factor of it. Do you go with combo or do you go with same length? After that, it becomes a price question. The curves are better, but you're going to get more better out of the same length than if you just had the curve. Okay, so the question is, if getting the curves is going to put you over budget and you decide not to go with the set of irons, get the standard ones. If price isn't a factor, get the curves. They're the only ones to market with these things, and just like all of your wood faces are curved and you never even think about it anymore, so the same benefit is there with the irons. So you're going to get a little bit closer to your target with the curves than you are with your straight faced irons. It's going to make the misses a little bit better. So if the extra money isn't a big deal to you, get the curves. If the money is a big deal for you and it's going to turn you off of getting same length clubs in your bag at all, get the straight ones. Now, a couple of interesting things that I've learned in the last 8 months of playing with these is, number one, I've been focusing on my standard 7-iron swing. And you can start doing that right away with whatever 7-iron you have and just learn that 7-iron swing to be repeatable over and over and over, focusing on the impact position first of those clubs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there with the impact position, you can check out, bam, my ball striking consistency course to talk about impact position first and working backwards from there. But if you start there with the 7-iron and then all you're doing is adjusting your launch angle with the face turning to the right or to the left, right and left, higher and lower, and tilting your upper body back and forward with ball position like this, back and forth, in order to get a little more height or a little less height. And that will bridge the gaps between any of the irons and allow you to have all of the distances, not just the ones that are for your standard shot. The other thing that I've been doing, if you look in the other 2 reviews that I have on the combo length and the same length, is using full swing, 7/8 swing, 3/4 swing, like a little half punch shot. And it's basically the equivalent to a 50-yard, a 75-yard, a 90-yard shot with your wedges, but in through your irons, okay? Working on your swing options to go along with your same clubs. You're going to use that in the same position. You're going to have the same kind of weight in the club. So when you're using your time at the range, you know, you've got your stock 7-iron first, and then you're iterating on it a little bit, longer, shorter, higher, lower, right, left, and you're learning to shape the shots rather than learn the different swings for the 7, 8, 9, pitching wedge, gap wedge, lob wedge, sand wedge, 4-iron, 5-iron, and focus your time on learning the shot shapes with the 7-iron and then applying them through all the clubs in your bag. It's super cool. So once you do get your set, if you do it through, if you click the link, if you click my link in the video and buy through that link, I'll also send you my mini course on how to get started quickly with your same length irons and try and get over some of those troublesome spots like the long wedges and the shorter long irons, and how to maximize your practice time into the new irons that you've got. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay with the same length set, or am I going to go to the combo length set? And true to character, my recommendation is actually kind of crazy. Okay, I long for the same length consistency. You'll not understand it until you experience it, but there is an accuracy and a consistency that goes with this same length set of irons, which is unmatched. It's just unmatched. It's crazy. Scroll through some of the comments on some of my other same length videos and you'll see comments from people all over the place who have gone to the same length system and said, it just makes golf easier. It's easier. It is easier to play with this set of irons. Of course, there's the one downside with the long iron not flying as high and as softly as a longer one. And that's really the only downside, okay? You can look through my 6-month review of these clubs and you can see shot by shot the comparison and the ups and downs of both sides. That's the only downside. It's hard to fly it far and land it soft. So here's my crazy recommendation. What if I had the option of a same length set of irons which also had the option of a longer or standard set of irons. So here's what I've been doing. I've been playing with my combo lengths, and I've been gripping down the 7, the 6, the 5, and the 4 to match the lob wedge through the 8 iron. Okay, I've been playing it like a same length set of irons. Look at it this way. If I've got my 4 iron here, okay, and I would play it there. Okay, you see that? I would play it there, and I put them side by side. It would have me gripping down 2 inches on the combo length 4 iron. So now, if I play this 4 iron standard as the combo length 4 iron, I'm going to get the same performance that I get out of the same length 4 iron. It's going to go a little lower, and it's going to go more accurately. Okay? But then, when I need it, I'm out there. And I've got more length, more height, and more stopping power. Okay? I'm combining the two. So I've got my same length set here, right there, and then I've got my regular there. And I've got a shot right here that I'll show you that is with this lower, more, I'm going to call it more controlled, but same length in the combo length set. It gives me both options. And you just have to have the discipline to actually play it like that and not to grip it and rip it way out here at the end. Okay? So you can actually get both sets in one with the combo length if you're diligent enough to actually grip down on the 4 iron. And that is my recommendation. My general recommendation is buy the combo length and learn to use it as a same length, and then you have yourself an option to be able to lengthen out your 4 iron and 5 iron, or get a little more. So the consistency you're getting with these, with the options that you're getting with these. Okay, that's my crazy recommendation. Go combo and learn how to use it as the same length as well. More specific cases are these. So which set is best for you? These are my recommendations, my feelings, nobody else's. You can grill me in the comments if you want, and I'll be happy to answer, but these are my thoughts. If you're tall, go with the same length, okay, period. If you're tall, go with the same length, because, you know, you're getting down, you've got enough length already. You've got enough arc length already. So having the same set that you go down to each time would be a benefit for your back. If you have back problems, go with the same length, so you don't have to bend over as far. Okay, if you're playing links style courses, or if you're in the wind a lot, or if you're playing over in Britain where there's a lot of low and bump and run and roll things up, absolutely, no question, go with the same lengths. If you're a tournament player and you want the lowest scores on the toughest courses from the back tees, go with the combo length. You're going to benefit from the same length irons in the lob wedge all the way through the 8 iron, and then your 7, 6, 5, 4 is going to be more standard, where you can fly it high, land it soft. If you're a general, let's call it 10 to 25 handicapper, I would get the 6 iron through the lob wedge in the same length, and then I would have hybrids or high woods as the rest of my clubs. You're going to have an easier time hitting a 7 wood or a 9 wood or a hybrid than you are any of the long irons. Doesn't matter if it's combo, same length, or a standard set of irons. So 6 iron to lob wedge in the same length, and then go into the hybrids and the woods. If you want a set of irons that is just, I want to buy a set of irons that's all the way through, and then get woods that accompany those swing weights, well then you're going to go with the combo length. Okay, combo length, lob wedge to 4 iron, and then 5 wood, 3 wood driver. They are both fantastic. The irons themselves feel amazing. The wear patterns are excellent. I've been hitting out of rocks and deserts and everything else, and I don't have big gouges or scrapes and through the clubs. They're a very well built club, but at the end of the day, when I'm standing over a shot, I am longing for the consistency of this same length club more than I am this one. If this one was 100, this one would be 97. I love the combos for somebody that's got a bit of a slower swing speed, and it's slower than mine. So like, let's call it between 80 and 90 miles an hour on the 7 iron swing speed, then go with the combos, because they're a little bit lighter and they're going to give you a little bit more club head speed, and you're just going to be happier because you're going to have a tougher time hitting these longer irons the way that you want. Wow, that was a lot of information. Thank you so much for watching. Now, a couple of things. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you and answer whatever that question might be. Also, I've got a link in the bottom to the Avoda website that gets you towards all the products, all the irons, and all the accessories. If and when you're ready to buy, if you click through that link,
I get a affiliate bonus. If you do click through that link and buy and want to support me, I would appreciate that very, very much. But I will also give you access to my mini course that I created on how to succeed with your same length and combo length irons right from the get-go. So take out some of that learning portion when you get your new set of irons and help you over some of those difficult points and succeed with them right away. So if you do that, click the link, go through and buy, or go through the fitting system. And if you do, send me a message and I'll get you access to that program. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait for you to try out these incredible golf clubs.